Well, I hope everybody is having a fantastic evening here, and we'll get started with some stuff just as soon as you get ready here. I'm trying to find a way to scan stuff with my phone. I know there's a way to do it. I just can't find um, where the spot to do it at. So, not just take a picture, but take a scan with it. And I don't really see that in here. I've done it before. Maybe with new updates, it doesn't do it anymore. I don't know. I can't figure out how to do it though. So, there it is, scan right there. All right. So now I can do a scan. All right, everybody. Cameron is working tomorrow morning. He will be in for Jaden. So he is at home in the bed asleep tonight. So it's just me. And I did come up with the name of what I'm going to start calling this. Is going to be this Weather Tonight with Ken Johnson. There you go. Plain and simple. I guess pretty easy there. How do you think? What's up, Samantha Gibson and Carrie? My normal? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm about to embark on a little project. Of course, I've got so many irons in the fire, like I need another one here. But I'm about to embark on a project. I'm going to build an above ground garden at my house. We're going to do like I'm going to do just like mostly like squash and cucumbers and tomatoes, that kind of thing. But I got to build the above ground flower bed. It's a little bit too early to be planting anything now because there'll still be frost, threats into the early parts of April. But I'll probably do this. So Cameron isn't in the bed asleep. I thought he would be, but he says in the bed asleep. Yeah, right. So I guess Cameron couldn't go to sleep, so he's up. So even though he's not here with us in person, he is on here in the comment section there. So how was your day today? My day was busy as usual, but not super busy. I didn't do a tremendous amount of things today. Just a normal kind of work day for me. What about you? This was what, Thursday? Oh, I can't believe we're already to Friday and the very last day. We're at the very guys. We're at the very last day of February tomorrow. February tomorrow is the last day in it. 28 days in it. And then we're March 1st. And guess what March 1st is? March 1st is the first day of meteorological spring. We keep weather records. This is not the astronomy. This is not, the globe. This is official records are kept in solid 3-month increments for every season. So, in other words, spring is March, April, and May. First day of March through the last day of May. Summer is the first day of June through the last day of August. Fall, the first day of September through the last day of what would it be? November, and then winter, December 1 through the end of February. So we're almost through. We're almost through with winter here. And overall, slightly below average temperatures, but not by too much. We had a couple of cold spurts there throughout the winter. We had one in January, and of course, we had the one last week. But overall, though, between all of that, we had some just normal stuff, kind of cool, kind of, a little warm at times, but mostly cool. But we didn't have a lot of precipitation. We never really, of course, we're not totally out of the woods, but we never saw any big winter storms here anyway. Saw that one snow, but in general wasn't too bad. So Brenda O'Neill Soto says she had a busy day today. Well, I'm glad you were busy, or wish you weren't busy. Whatever you prefer. I like to be busy. You know why I like to be busy? It keeps me out of trouble and it keeps my mind occupied. I'm trying a new Coke Zero tonight, creamsicle. It's just okay. Orange cream. It's just okay. It's not that great. If you like creamsicle, you might like it. If you like orange creamsicle, you might like it. When I was a kid, I used to like push-ups. I used to like them. So Samantha wants to know: are y'all ready for severe weather season? I am not. Well, there's a couple of things I can say about that. Most weather people get into the weather business because I'm good, Kate. Thank you. Most people get into the weather business because they are fascinated by bad weather. Severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, hurricanes, big winter storms. That's why most people get into it because they have a fascination with it, or and kind of a bit of an excitement. Of course, we never get excited when there's going to be violent weather, but the overall storm systems and how they all come together do fascinate us. So yes, to answer that question, yeah, I am ready for severe weather season here. Cameron Lindsay just re-signed with me, so I have my Storm Chasers intact. I'm excited about that. I'm very thankful of that. Our general manager Richard Haddix gives us all the tools that we need. Now, one thing that I do want to do, and I've not been successful with it yet, and the reason why I haven't been successful is just there's no easy way to do it. But I want to incorporate storm chasers, more storm chasers into our weather. You know, we have Cameron, but I want to have storm chasers at all angles with on every storm if I can. If I could figure out how to do it, I would love to bring you, the viewer, on and show what's going on at your house. But yeah, number one, it's very difficult to do that. And then number two, I mean, there's a way to do it, but it'd be hard to do it. And then, and that would make you a storm chaser or a storm spotter for me. And but then you never know when you're going to get something that's not supposed to be on TV. Then we could get in trouble about that. So that's the logistics of that would be very difficult. So. But yeah, we're ready. I'm not ready for all the hype. I mean, we got severe weather system early next week here, and I mean, and it will probably produce severe weather. Not here, just east of here, but you know, it'll probably wind up producing severe weather, and there'll probably be hail and wind and some tornadoes with that. But you know, it's that's 5 days away, and you've got people on social media screaming mega, major, super, gigantic tornado outbreak. And it's just way too soon to be, you know, 5 days out to be calling that. You can say the signals are there for a severe weather event. Could be pretty rough. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But, you know, we just live in the age where social media is going to try to outdo social media. You got one trying to outdo the other. You got these guys screaming as loud as they can. They're not doing it to inform you. They're doing it for two reasons. Number one, they do it because they're excited, and they're excited with what they see. So every model run they do, they're going to put that out there. Number two, they're going to scream and yell because they want to get your attention so they can get views. It's not to inform you. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people out there that would, majority of them though, because they get paid on their views, do it to make you give them views so they'll make money off of you. So, which I mean, they're not doing anything illegal, nothing wrong. I just feel like there should be some type of regulation on it. You know, I wish that there was, but unfortunately there's not. So what's up, Judy? I'm glad you're a big fan. And Cameron Lindsay says, hey, Ken, big fan, love News Channel 6. I'm glad you love News Channel 6. I'm glad you do because you work here. So I'm glad you love us. So. And says they wouldn't if they lived among family that lost loved ones or created fear. See, I agree with that. You know, like I say, I can get behind someone's passion for weather. I can get behind the fascination and excitement of a big storm system. I get that. I can get behind the adrenaline, like Karen says, of the rush of seeing a big tornado out in the middle of a field where it's not impacting anybody. But I cannot get behind being excited when people's lives are going to be in danger, because I mean, it is. I mean, the tornadoes can be killers, so it's possible. And then, and this is certainly not getting political, but we're getting word now that a lot of the Weather Service, or a lot of the members of the Climate Prediction Center, NOAA, maybe some people from the NWS are getting laid off right now, which, we're going into tornado season. We really cannot be afforded to be doing that right now. And a lot of those research projects are very, very important. And I'm not saying it's important just in a scientific standpoint, but it's important because, I mean, this information, these research projects help develop better modeling and help develop better radar systems, better warning systems to give you more advanced. The more advanced warning that we can give you, the better off you're going to be to be protected and to stay safe. I mean, who knows? Maybe even in the future with some of this stuff, we can give you enough advanced warning to where we can tell you exactly where a storm is going to be at certain time, and if it is or not going to be, something you need to worry about. I mean, I can tell you the general vicinity a couple of days in advance, but I can't tell you, tomorrow that there's going to be a tornado on this block. But one day it might be good enough to do that. So it may be. So Kyrie, where's Kyrie? I don't. Oh, there he is. There's Kyrie. What's going on, my friend? Kyrie works for us here at News Channel 6. So anyway, but yeah, I'm not excited. I mean, I don't want to see anybody lose their job, not ever. But I just hate to see that part of it, going on. But anyway, but enough about that. So, but I think Cam gets pretty excited though about he loves storm chasing. He gets pretty excited about that. So, Hey, we got a lot of people. We had a lot of conversation there in the chat there. We got Corey and see Cameron just kind of brings the energy. Thank you, Ann. You're truly a great covering severe weather. I try to be, but sometimes maybe I get even a little bit confusing with it. Cameron and I were talking about something the other day, today, and we talk about it all the time. But we really put a lot into our weather forecast here, a lot into the graphic work that you see. This is not something where we come in and just play on a computer. There are probably some weather people that are out there. I'm not saying in this market, but I'm just saying there are probably some weather people out there in some markets that probably just come in, look at probably a forecast discussion or something, and they hit play on a computer, and that's probably play on the rest of the day they're just playing on the computer. But we really do put a lot. I mean, when I come into work, I sit down and I put together my forecast. First thing I do is I put together my forecast. I read emails, respond to those, any type of little small things I need to get done. Then I'm on to building graphics, and you can ask Cameron, I'm locked in, man. I'm building those graphics you see most of the time are built from scratch. We put a lot into it. So we try to give you the most bang for your buck that we can give you. I want to teach you about weather. I don't want to just say it's going to rain tomorrow. I want to show you why it's going to rain tomorrow. I want to break it down for you. I don't want to just show a future tracker that shows a blob of rain. I want to show the blob of rain, but I want to show you why the blob of rain is going to be there. But I want to do so in a compelling way. I want to do so in a way that you can understand, and try to do so in a way to where, you just kind of understand it. So Cameron, you do a good job of building graphics. I'm not taking it away, but I build my own graphics. Sometimes I'll use some stuff that you use, and sometimes you'll use some of the stuff that I use, but you do a good job of building graphics. So for sure. I was just sitting here reading here off what you got to say. Of course, when we get into severe weather season, this is our severe. Don't forget tomorrow too, by the way, at 6:30. And I know everybody's going to the Wheel of Fortune people are not going to be happy with this, but they'll re-air that. I'm not sure when, but they'll re-air that. So tomorrow night, in place of Wheel of Fortune at 6:30, we have our severe weather awareness special. Let's see, Jaden is going to kind of show you behind the scenes peek at what he does to get ready for, his weather on a day-to-day basis in the morning. Then we have Cameron that's talking about storm shelters. He interviewed a family that has just installed a storm shelter. Cameron's going to take you and show you what it takes to become a storm chaser. I'm showing you kind of weather technology from where we were in the 60s to where we are now. Matter of fact, this station, KAUZ, back in the 60s, there's a tornado out behind the building here. It was like kind of up towards the Shepherd Air Force Base and kind of going through the north side of the city. You can see this tomorrow. That we got video of it. But KAUZ, I think, was the first TV station to ever show a tornado live on air from the TV station like that. So I'm gonna go look back from where that started to where we're at now. And I also have my seasonal outlook. Now, when it comes to seasonal outlook, I'm going to be honest with you. There is no skill in forecasting long-range weather. There's skill in forecasting weather today, tomorrow, the next day, and maybe even next week. But there's no skill in forecasting weather long-term. What that means is whenever I'm forecasting weather for the next 3 or 4 days, I have models I can look at, and that'll show me what the atmosphere might look like. I can take that information, and I can break it all down, and I can put together a forecast. That information helps me it doesn't determine my forecast, but it helps me make the forecast. But when you're forecasting long term, we don't have modeling data that's going to be accurate that far. So what you have to do is you have to look at climatology, history of weather patterns that might potentially be similar in nature. And that's what you kind of go on. And so it's really a dart at throwing a dart at a dartboard. Signals are for early on this spring to be very active. I don't know that means we get severe weather here. We may wind up seeing a significant fire weather threat here early in the spring with the severe weather east of us. Our main severe weather time doesn't come until later April and May. And then there's always a chance the weather pattern isn't as active during that time. So oftentimes when you see an early fast start to tornado season, it'll end slower, and slower would mean less out our way. So it is possible that could happen. So Ruby says, I was in Wichita when the April 10th, 1979 tornado hit. This one I was talking about, I think it's in 64. But yeah, that was, of course, the benchmark storm for this area is 1979. Hopefully, we'll never have anything like that again. We've had some really close calls, but thankfully, nothing like that's happened here. John, when can we expect our active tornado season to begin? Well, it's hard to say. I was just explaining, there's really no way to know. We usually don't see much severe weather here until we get over into mid and late April and May. But of course, we can see it in early March too. We can see it in March. We've had tornadoes. We had EF3 in Jacksboro around, I think, March the 19th or so a few years ago. So we do get it, but it's just, it's more the frequency goes up later in April and May. Oh, yeah, Cameron's on tomorrow at 6 a.m. He's on here. So he wants y'all to be sure to watch him. And it's always good to watch Cam because you never, ever know what he's going to say or do. So as far as myself, though, Brenda says, I remember seeing the 61 and 64. Were you around during the 60? Were you around at 64, Brenda? Yeah, it's 6:30 to 7 tomorrow. That's when it airs, Judy. And I think it'll be on the 24/7 the 24/7 network once it's not airing there anymore. So, but as we get ready to head towards severe weather season, just always make sure you have a plan. My number one thing is always just have a good way to get warnings. Outdoor tornado sirens, that's not a good way because those things can malfunction or they could have a power hit and they may not sound. So that may not be the best way to do it. So the best way to do it is just a NOAA weather radio, the First Alert 6 weather app. It'll notify you with warnings. And then just have reliable sources that you trust here. I mean, I love it. I want you guys to watch me because I love giving you the information and whatnot. But if it isn't me, just make sure you got somebody that you can trust. Somebody's going to give you good, not bad information. So you got to be careful because a lot of them out there on social media will give you bad information. Not all of them, but a lot of them will give you bad information. They'll have you living in terror this spring. And severe weather season, tornado season shouldn't be about living in terror and fear. It should be just about being prepared just in case, because we're going to see severe weather at spring. We're going to have tornadoes at spring. It's just inevitable. But there are years that go by here, not every year, but every once in a while we'll get a spring that'll go through here where it's not too active. I can still remember a couple tornado seasons where we didn't see hardly any severe weather at all. And we've had other years where it seems like every day. So what do you think about those NWS getting laid off? I was talking about that earlier, Javier, which I got to get off here in just a minute. So I got to get dressed for the newscast, but I'm not in favor of that at all. Yeah, I'm just not. I mean, I just believe it's one of those things where, sometimes I know we got to trim the fat a little bit, but that's just not one of the places where we needed to be doing the trimming here. That is a very, very important public safety type thing. The research they do is important. Because our research gives us better modeling, better radar information, better warning, better everything. So, I don't agree with that one. Like I say, I can understand sometimes we got to sometimes take a little step back to take a step forward. But in this instance, I'm just not, I'm not in favor of it. And that is not being political. It has nothing to do with politics. So it's just, I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy about that one at all. So, well, I do appreciate the trust. Kate says, I can't wait for 100-degree weather this summer. All right, I can wait for that. That's for sure. I got to get dressed, guys. It's almost time for the newscast. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining me here on Weather Tonight. And see, I came up with the new name of it there, Cameron. How you like that? But I'll be back on here tomorrow night, same time, same place. Thank you, Service Master Restore, for making these Facebook Live.